Brain box.
My dad, Ed, wants to give away my dog at a meat market. Yes, you read that right, and this happened just an hour ago. My dad, entitled Dad Mommy. Background: I live in Asia and meat market is sold in black market. And please excuse my English, I'm frustrated and just need to release this. My dad is alcoholic and a real definition of an asshole. Every time my mom has family occasion on her side, he will just go ballistic and be mad about it. Small mistake, he will just fire at my mom and blame her for everything. He will make you feel you deserve to be alive and be under his roof. One thing is, he never hurt her or us. He is just verbally abusive. Right. Earlier, I'm minding my own cause, I'm feeling feverish, and out of nowhere my mom came to my room and showing me texts of my dad that he knows someone we can give our dog to. Backstory again, his father was known for catching stray dogs and selling them to meat market. If you are the one who reads the message, you know where this is going. Same pattern in different time. My gut just falls to the ground. My dog is a rescue stray dog. She is different from our breed dogs here. She is just special. I told my dad that I will never give up my dog to him. To hell he goes. Then he went ballistic again, saying he owns this house and he can do whatever he wants and us living here doesn't give him any right. Now I'm looking for a new house to move in with my BF and my dogs. He has been supportive and agrees this home is very toxic to begin with. I don't care that you're playing. My son wants to play. Fairly short and I'm on mobile, so I apologize for any formatting issues. This happened earlier today. I'm traveling around the world, and in one of the hostels that I was staying at, there was a pool table in the lobby for €5 per hour. I paid the $5 and was playing alone for a while, and then I asked some stranger to join me. We played 4 games and were tied 2-2. At the start of the 5th game, over walks M. She said her son wanted to play with the pool balls. I told her I was in the middle of a game and I had to pay to rent the equipment. She responds with yes, but my son wants to play, and points to her kid standing shyly about 15 feet away. Now this kid was definitely no more than 6 to 7 and probably could barely see over the table without standing on something. I told them that this was going to be our last game, and after we were done, she could rent the balls if it mattered that much. She proceeded to take 2 balls off the table while we are in the middle of a game and hands them to her kid, who takes them excitedly and proceeds to throw one of them as far as he could. It hit the side of a vending machine which made a loud sound and caught the attention of the receptionists. I started walking over to the nearest receptionist and explained what happened. She talked to Em and essentially told her to give the balls back and leave us alone, or she would have her removed. Em took the ball from her son and very angrily threw it onto the table, further messing up our game, and stormed out cussing with her child in hand. We started over, and I won the 5th game. Entitled Mother-in-law is a sore loser. I have a number of stories regarding my entitled mill. I'll be posting more of them as I get them written down. My wife, W, and I were over at her mother's, M, playing Risk with M, our son, and M's 2 youngest sisters. As most Risk games go, some people got well off early, while some struggled. And wouldn't you know it, it was M and myself that were on the losing end. It got to the point that I saw I was going to get wiped out on one of my sister-in-law's next turn. I'm looking at the board and come to the realization that the only thing I could do that would have a lasting impact on the game was to wipe out M. Our territories were bordering, and I had marginally more troops than she did. I steamrolled her. She did not knock off a single one of my troops and I wiped her off the board easily. With each territory I took, I saw her face getting more and more red. When I finally took the last one. M, what the fuck, why would you do that? Me, cause it's the only thing I could do that would affect the game. M, why didn't you attack your sister-in-law and try to get some of your own territories back? Me, because she has twice as many troops as I do on her border, and I'd get nowhere and is still be dead my next turn. M, you don't know that, she could be nice. So, actually, was planning on taking you both out next turn anyways. M, seriously. So, what, mom? It's just a game. M's face was cherry red at this point. She wasn't having any of it. She shoved the board across the table, knocking everything off. M, there. Game over. We all just kind of stared at her dumbfounded. All that over a game. M demands I give my phone to her son because he can't afford one. This happened around 6 months ago. Before then I never came across an entitled parent. After coming across another post on this subreddit, it reminded me of this one. So, after school we decided to eat some fish and chips at the local chippy. It was nearby our house and we didn't have anything else to eat, so heck it. When my mum and my younger brother was getting the food I was sitting down on a seat. I was playing Brawl Stars when I saw an 8-year-old loitering around the seats. He came to me. Moments later he walked away and then he came back with the "Excuse me, op, can my ek borrow your phone?" He won't steal it. Sure, and I decided to give it to him. Now this was a poor choice. He must have gotten bored with it and he gave it back a minute later. Now this was the point where my younger brother and my mum got the food and sat down on a table near the back. Unfortunately, the M and her family were sitting close to me and M confronted me saying, "Why did you take it back?" To which I replied, "This is my phone and I could do what I want with it. Plus your son gave it back to me." "No, you're lying, you snatched it off my son. Now I'm taking this phone for compensation." The M stole it off and ran. My mother called the police and she was detained and arrested for theft, and the ek apologized and waited until his dad picked him up. M wants guide dog to leave restaurant. Posting from Australia, but I assume/hope the laws are the same in other countries. I own a restaurant and had a large group call up and book for a busy Sunday lunch. They also advised us that one of the guests would be bringing a guide dog due to being blind. Absolutely no issue at all. Even if they were allowed to go anywhere. Because they were a large group, we sat them down the far end of the restaurant rather than the middle, so they weren't in anyone's way and the dog sat quietly under the table with its harness on. CK, cute kid M, entitled monster SS, saintly server. CK, look mummy, a doggy. QM going absolutely crazy. They were seated down the opposite end of quite a large room, but she grabbed one of my servers and stormed up to the table the group was sitting at. M, this is absolutely disgusting. There is a dog in the restaurant and you are serving food. I should call the health inspector on you. Remove it at once, before I report you. SS, ma'am, this is a guide dog. See, it has its harness on, stating so. M completely ignores him and continues to rant and rave. By this stage my packed restaurant are all started to turn and look, and the poor blind woman is grabbing her stuff to go. My SS takes no BS from this M and snaps the dog stays. You on the other hand can get out, and removes her and her family from the venue. I've never been prouder of my staff. We keep dog treats on hand for good puppas in our outdoor area and gave one to the dog's owner to give him when they got home and he was no longer working. Never pat a seeing eye dog when they are on shift. Christian mother blames tech support for the internet, her 3-year-old setup not working. Not my story. My religion teacher told it to us during class quickly. May or may not belong here. Not sure, anyways, onto the story. Years ago when my teacher was working tech support for some internet company and had some mother call in freaking out at him and blaming him for her internet not working. She apparently believes her 3-year-old child set up her internet properly and refused to believe otherwise. When my teacher explained to her that her 3-year-old child who can't read or write couldn't possibly have known how to set up the internet properly, she just simply told him she has to go to church and pray for him so that he receives more patience, because apparently a 3-year-old couldn't have possibly set up her internet wrong. That's where the story ends. I'm sure there's more, but it was just a brief story he told us during a lesson. Half telling a story, but more asking for advice. Hey Reddit. Don't know if I should post this here, but I couldn't find better people I dealt with. Entitlement. I have a love GF, and she is not the problem at all. It is her mother and her younger sister. The younger sister always wants it her way, and if that doesn't happen she can ruin everyone's day. Here is where the mother plays a little role in. She lets it all happen, and sometimes even laughs about it. I get really frustrated when I hear a "I don't care" from her sister while my GF and I are gaming or having a conversation. The sister always tells or shows things with the attitude that everything that's hers is the best, and what is my GF sucks and is ugly. My GF is a little insecure, and I'm afraid that it's the little sister fault, and mother's indirectly.